Hi, my name is Muhammad Zahir bin Azhar.
My name is Sangeetana anak perempuan
My name is Nur Akila Natasha binti Hazidi, and today I will start with introduction. SPACEZ Striker is a virtual reality game developed using Godot 4. The game places the player inside a science fiction space facility overrun by robot enemies. Every interaction in the game is designed to be hands-on, from grabbing and throwing objects to drawing a bow and firing a single decisive shot. This project was developed as a team, combining level design, VR interaction, scripting, and game logic to produce a complete and playable VR experience from start as for the objective. This game navigates through the space facility and reach the final stage, avoid or eliminate patrolling robot enemies, blocking the path, and then use scattered cubes in the environment as weapons against enemies, and then reach the final boss area by passing through the green light checkpoint, defeat the rock astronaut boss using the bow and arrow, and lastly trigger the victory condition to complete the game. Next are the challenges. Robot enemies constantly move left and right, blocking the way at all times. Player must decide quickly whether to dodge through gaps or throw a cube to clear the way. Colliding with an enemy resets the player's progress. Cubes are scattered, so the player must locate and pick them up under pressure. The final boss room provides only a bow and few arrows. The player must stay calm and aim precisely, as only one shot is available to defeat the boss. And lastly, the entire game demands physical awareness and spatial thinking unit into VR.
In this demonstration, I'll be playing through the entire game while walking through each mechanic in real time, that covering the play interaction, enemy behavior, weapon system, collision event, and the user interface. The game open in instruction space. These instruction panels that teach the player how to use the controllers. Now we enter the main stage. You can see the environment design, a dark science fiction platform with blue accent lighting to match the alien theme, and green guide markers showing the path forward. Scattered across the floor are these cubes. These are the player's weapons. Here's the pickable and throwing mechanic in action. When the player squeezes the grip, the cube attaches to their hand. When they release while moving their arm, the physics engine carries the cube's momentum forward. This is the object-to-enemy interaction. When a thrown cube collides with an alien, the cube detects the collision, calls the enemy's die function, and the enemy is removed from the scene. Locomotion here uses XR tools direct movement so the player can walk freely on the platform. The player has to be careful. This is the dead interaction. If the player's body collides with an alien, the game ends and the player needs to restart from the beginning. This is the final boss arena. The environment changed, purple lighting, fences, and the astronaut boss suspended at the end of the bridge. On the table in front of the player is a bow and arrow set. This is the second weapon system in the game. Now, the archery mechanic. The bow is a pickable object. The player grabs the bow with one hand, picks an arrow with the other hand, knocks on the string, pull backs and release. When the arrow hits the final boss, the same die logic triggers. The boss is defeated and the You Win UI panel pop-ups to end the game.
Now I'm gonna explain about UI enhancement of our game. So first, this slide shows the gameplay controls UI, which is in the training area that we provide simple instruction to help the player to understand the control. So the player can throw a cube and shoot the arrow using a bow. So this UI helps beginners learn the mechanics easily before entering the actual game. This slide shows the safe zone UI. So the glowing green area indicates a safe zone when the player must move to survive enemy attacks. So this visual cue is very important because it guides the player without using too much of text, and it makes navigation very easier and improve the overall gameplay experience. Shows the transition UI using a dark wall. When the player enter this wall, they move to the next stage of the game. It acts as the portal and helps create a smooth transition between different game areas. So this design helps the game flow clear and shows the victory UI. So when the player defeats the boss, the You Win panel appears. This gives clear feedback that the player has successfully completed the game, and it provides a sense of achievement and shows the game over UI. So if the player collides with an enemy, the game over panel will appear, and the player is required to hold the trigger button to restart the game. So this interaction ensures the players understand what is happening and how to continue. The slide summarizes the UI enhancement of our game. So our UI design focuses on providing a clear instruction panels to guide the player action effectively. We also use visual cues to help to improve the player movement and the direction throughout the game. So in addition, the game includes an interactive feedback system such as the game over panel and restart function. So the UI is kept minimal to ensure the better comfort in a VR environment. Overall, the simple and intuitive interface helps improve the player's experience and makes the gameplay easier to understand. SPACEZ Striker successfully demonstrates an immersive VR combat experience by combining interactive gameplay mechanics with a clear and a structured game flow. So players are guided from training to combat, survival, and boss battle through simple UI and intuitive control such as throwing and shooting. So the use of the visual cues like the green safe zone and a transition portal also helps improve navigation and user understanding. Overall, this project highlights the importance of user-friendly interface design, smooth interaction, and teamwork in creating an engaging VR game experience. So that's all from us. Thank you.